Okay, what's going on, guys? So, what I've done is I fixed the textures on these 9R, 9RX John Deere tractors. Pretty much the spec maps are what needed some adjusting. So now, the actual diffuse was the same as my discs in all my other Deeres. So I just did the spec maps the way they should have been, and they all kind of match up now. So pretty happy about that. Also added, the gloss cube maps. Also kind of modified this deer to kind of have the same. The only thing I haven't done is the diffuse texture is the same color green now. It's not that faded green. I haven't messed around with the spec maps, but it should be fairly close. So I did a little bit of harvesting off camera here, just kind of cleared some headlands and started working on this back section. I had an issue with our grain bin. I had the user attribute was something different other than the farm silo, so the game, for whatever reason, only recognizes the farm silo as kind of a storage. So every time I kind of saved the game and uploaded it again, it kind of didn't save our grain in our bin. But that's all fixed now. I need a bigger corn head. I'd have to disagree with you. This 8 rows works great for our long passes. We don't really have the bushel capacity in our bin for a bigger header. It's an 8 row head. It's 9 a.m. where I'm from. Not running over a crop, but thanks for the looking out for me here. The tire's as wide as the header. Just so you know. Alright, we gonna unload this. This is going right into our bin here, which is great. Here's a new RX with some new spec maps and textures, looking a little bit better there. Here's our other one, same deal. We're gonna go ahead and request a driver, get him over here, so we don't have to be messing around. Jake, it all depends about how long your passes are. It doesn't matter the size of your combine. If your passes are half a mile to a mile long, yeah, sure, it can handle a bigger header, but our grain bin can't. It's all about efficiency, my friend. For our farm and our fields, this 8 row works great. I don't really think we can want to mess around with a 12 row here, or even a 16. Just won't work. Maybe in these smaller passes, yeah, but pretty rare that we're doing these small passes here. Stop our driver. We don't really need a 680, that's for sure. We can get by with probably a 660 or a 670, but know, we can upgrade to a bigger hopper, but then we wouldn't be able to fit it in our shed, so. Sometimes you just can't. Well, I am hitting a little bit of crop here just because of the way this thing's bouncing. So I figure we pulled anywhere from 11 to 12,000 bushel off this field since it was having issues saving our actual how much we actually had. So kind of added that in the XML here after I fixed the tip trigger, the user attribute. Why do you want to know where I live? I'll let you know that I grew up around this area for school and things like that. So I really need to expand this headland over here about 2 more passes so I can turn around a little bit more efficient. Start our driver off again so he can come unload us. We may need to lighten up the spec maps on those RXs a bit here. I don't know where the hell this guy's going. He's going somewhere. Not really sure what their grain cart operator's doing. Hard to find good help apparently. This guy's getting a little squirrely on us here. Alright, so this guy's empty. Great. This gives us a chance to kind of look at her. So already up to 15,000. Not bad. So after we're done with this field, we may end up going up to a smaller field here. Let's look at what's ready to harvest here. So I know 61, we need to harvest that one, and that also needs plowing. I'm trying to take care of the fields that need plowing first. So 2's fine. I think that's still maybe growing here. I don't think it's ready to harvest. Yeah, it's still growing. So we got 1, 2, 3 more cornfields to take care of. This thing's still unloading 134 liters a second here instead of 400. So it's going to really cool down here in terms of temperature. I want to make sure I have enough time to do my fall tillage and get some plowing going in. I'm afraid if we kind of harvest all of our fields and then go to go to primary tillage, we may not be able to plow our fields here. So I'm trying to harvest the fields that we didn't plow last year. In field 2 is a huge cornfield, but apparently it's not ready to harvest anyway, so that's fine. The bushel mod, it's a converter mod. I had it in Discord chat, but rumor has it that it's on AEM. I'm not actually sure where you can download it, to be honest, but that's just kind of what I've heard. Yeah, combines by custom modding. I just kind of changed the diffuse textures a bit. The green was a little too faded in my opinion. So we're fastly approaching in the completion of this 92-acre cornfield. I actually added probably 2,000 bushel more than what we would have actually got off this field, just because I kind of put some in a trailer to test the trigger, because we're having some saved game issues recognizing our silo. So I might go ahead and modify that, take off 2,000. So we don't really have a very accurate yield on this field. I'm going to say it's somewhere around 160 to 200 bushel, right around there. Maybe 175, 180. Anyways, hopefully you guys all had a good 4th of July. I just went right to bed. Fireworks, I guess, were supposed to happen here at like 10:30, and just too tired. I've seen enough fireworks in my days to not bother to stay up. Even though I don't work today. New projects? Nope. No new projects. Same old, same old. Just kind of refining, updating, and redoing some existing mods of mine. And just more map work, some more custom map objects and things like that. request a driver again. So we can dump our hopper here. What's going on, real redneck? So the issue is this tractor kind of like these headlamps. Chilling at the beach. Yeah, I should go chill in our pool here. Maybe do some grilling. So many options. It's supposed to be hot as balls again today, like 94, so I don't know. I may not leave my air conditioned pad here. So Courseplay is gonna go Baja into the woods here, like he always does for whatever reason. Then we're gonna have to come back and fix him. What's going on, Bandit? This guy. You know, Courseplay does such a good job with everything else, but their overload, their grain cart operator, it doesn't recognize the field edge. So it just kind of does whatever it wants to, which is kind of annoying. I'm gonna realize some of these mods. A lot of them are pretty much all public. I think the only mods on here that I'm playing with are obviously the map. I mean, all the ones I'm using are heavily edited of public mods like this Combine. Public, the RX, public, my grain cart, my Kinsey grain cart's public. My 6R is private. My Jetco's private and my Meridian Auger's private. A lot of the mods here, I guess my Chevy truck's private, but a lot of the mods here are pretty available. So these smaller passes it'd be nice to have a little bit bigger header, but hopefully we can get another 1,000 bushel or so out of this field, and we'll call it a day. Go up to a smaller field, or field 61 by the power transform station. That has no fertilizer on it, so the yield on that, and it hasn't been plowed, so that's going to be probably a 40% reduction in yield. Probably be pretty poor there, but we'll still get probably a truck or two out of it, maybe a truck. I don't know. It may not even be worth our time to go up there and pick that corn, honestly. This field's doing pretty good. It's had three fertilizing states on it. The only thing it's missing was the plowed states. But it seems to be okay. I mean, if we would have got that extra 10% yield, that would be great. Nice thing is going to be when we chisel plow all this corn trash in, we're going to get nice boost in fertilizers. What's going on, Chris? Doing all right. So I bought a new 27-inch monitor. This one I'm using right now I don't really like. It's I don't know, it's Dell's new gaming PC, like the G-Sync with the 144 hertz. You know, it's supposed to be really great, but compared to my old 24, the color is kind of washed out. Isn't as great. So then I picked up kind of a generation in between my old one and this new one, which had really good ratings, and people said the color is still superior than this new one. So that should be coming today. Will it tell you how many bushels per acre? Unfortunately, no. But you can do a calculation on your own, pretty simple. You can kind of keep track of how many bushels you take off the field. Like right now, this is our first field we're harvesting, so everything in the silo came off this field. We started with 0. And then you divide that into the number of acres you work, which in this case is about 93 acres. That'll get you your bushel per acre. I think we needed around 18 or something, or 18,000 bushel to make 200. But I know I added an extra 2,000 bushel to the save game file that really we didn't harvest. So I kind of filled up my Jetco, and I was just kind of testing out the unload triggers. I'm gonna request a driver here again. If I had to guess, I'd say we may end up between 15 and 16,000 bushel after I kind of correct for the testing. Which, say if we end up with, let's see here, bust up the calculator. So let's say we end up with 16,000 bushel. That put us right around 172 bushel an acre, which is pretty average, pretty on par for this region. Obviously, if we would have plowed this, we would have got probably another 10% boost in our yield. But you know, mid 170s is good. You're definitely going to try to aim for 200, but you know, we have a lot of bean ground planted, so really we're gonna try to get, you know, 60 bushel an acre on our beans. A big bean field's been plowed and fertilized, so we should get the best yield on that. Top 5 favorite mappa for 17. I can't really tell you that. I've only really used this map in some of Cole's maps in 17. So I'm kind of the last person you want to ask, because I have no experience see a lot of people posting pictures of maps, so I guess you'd want to go out and try them on your own. Yeah, Random made a quick tutorial. It's very simple. You go to the crop destruction, you change like a 0 or something, or a 1 to a 2, you know. Trial and error, I guess, because never in a million years would I have thought of doing that. Oh, looks like you turned around this time. If I end a little short, then the driver can kind of make it. But he's at 87%, so he's gonna head back to the farm. He's definitely gonna get hung up in those trees. Unfortunately, he doesn't recognize the collisions, which I really wish he would. He is going to go right into those trees there because he doesn't recognize those trees as a collision, which is kind of annoying. So I'm just going to drive him out to the middle of the field here. So he's going to clear those other trees, and then we're going to have him keep going. I do have a couple moderators. I don't really have enough chat traffic. You know, I can handle it pretty good myself. Two monitors, so I can kind of keep an eye on what people are doing here. Drivers unloading the grain. It's good. Yep, 7 miles an hour in a cornfield. We're kind of hauling ass here. We only have an 8-row header. Our yield isn't that high. So why not, right? Question has been answered many a times. This downside of this field is when you set up one on, grain cart course, it works good for about 80% of this field, and then when you get over to this kind of tucked away section back here, it doesn't really work all that great. You're gonna want to speak English. I don't know if that's Spanish or Portuguese. I don't speak or understand either. Fourth is okay, didn't really do much. Felt a little weird this year, actually. One thing I can't figure out, the chops trial looks fine here, but when you look at it from above, you can't even see it. It's really weird and it's bugging me. And I tried fixing it, looking at other maps, and everything looks identical. It's using the same script, same textures, same lines. I just don't know what's going on. It could just be that this is a 16x map or something. I don't know. It's like it's flipped 90 degrees or something. Instead of being... Maybe that is the way it's supposed to be. I'm not sure. So RX is coming somewhere. He's for sure gonna get... Yeah. Holy shit, what's he doing? He's like through the woods here. Good God. Hard to find good help. So our Courseplay driver is back here trudging through the Osceola Creek. The grain cart, my God. I knew that was gonna happen. So we're gonna go ahead and empty this guy out. We're going right into the dryer here. We don't have a wet bin. It's kind of on the to-do list. Just kind of bring this stuff in Blender and kind of make a custom grain operation here. Download it from custom modding. It's where you get the, they have it right on their, it's either their Facebook page or their group. So. No need to go to a mod site. So we may be able to get the rest of this in our tank, maybe not. I guess we'll find out. Be a pretty rough field here. Looks like we're gonna just finish opening up this headland here instead. Sure. He's kind of right in our way here where he's decided to park. Oh, and he goes right through the corn crop. Wonderful. Alright folks, we're getting pretty darn close to finishing this field up. And then we're going to have to kind of switch gears a bit here and set up shop at another field. We have field 61. Yep, 61. It's a pretty tiny field. Really might end up just parking a truck there or something. Or grain cart. I'm not real sure what we're going to do. I might just have the grain cart run up and down the road. So that way I don't have to move my truck. It would be a great field to have those little grain wagons, gravity wagons, jam, do a grain train. Ah, interesting. Fungicide app maps. You know, wouldn't it be something if you had to worry about fungicides and your herbicides and pesticides and things like that in this game? Be the dream, right? Where you can hire out the co-op to come spray it, so you didn't have to manually do any of that stuff. Contract it out. Alright, this is pretty much kind of one of our last big passes here, and then we'll just polish off the last little section here. Will they screw up? Yeah, probably. But then they gotta come and cover the cost of the difference, right? Field average in that section. So I think I decided for 61, I'm just going to drive the grain cart down there, and then we're going to have to figure out something, how we're going to unload, if we're trucking grain back to the farm, how are we going to unload that with our current auger setup? So right now there's a collision on that unloading auger part, so I might have to take that out and see how it works. Do I plan on putting a 12 row? Not anytime soon. I'm gonna have to see how this combine can make the big rounds and like field 2 and things like that. If we have a little bit of extra room, maybe we can upgrade a header, but for now I think we're pretty much maxed out on our header size. Corn killer on 300 acres. Yeah, that's kind of that's a bad day. It's gonna be a bad day for sure. You know, I wish they made an option for a 670. I'd prefer a 670. I didn't really want a 680. It's too big, but what can you do? You know, even a 660 would be fine. Nice thing is when you have a smaller header like this on a bigger combine is you can go a little bit faster. You don't have to worry about filling up your hopper when you're just getting towards the end of a long pass usually. I'd rather have, there's really no need for 680 or 690, honestly, unless you're doing a tremendous amount of acres. Honestly, on this farm, I'd be happy with the 660. There is a 650, I'm pretty sure. That's for a pretty small operation. Imagine if that's like 500 acres or something like that. Maybe 1,000. I don't know. Can't run a very big draper header on that. It all depends if you need the horsepower for hills and things like that, or if you need a four-wheel drive. Really depends on your kind of terrain. If you had pretty dry, flat fields, you could probably get away with a smaller combine. If you have some hilly fields and you have some wet fields where you need some rear wheel assist, you're gonna need a bigger machine. Empty out this tank and then we'll finish up this field. And then we may take a break in terms of streaming here. Oh yeah, 650 has much smaller printing. It's a smaller combine in general. It's a smaller chassis, smaller feeder houses, pretty much everything. Yeah, a 670 would probably be kind of a big combine for this farm still. So a 660 would probably be the sweet spot. 670, you're a little bit, you know, you have a little bit left. Alright, so we're going to be topping off this grain cart here. Guy's gonna have to move this guy again. Get him out of the way so he doesn't hit the trees. So we used to have a 1500 bushel Brent, and that thing was glitching out. That was the end game from the Big Bud. And, you know, this 1100 Kinsey handles quite a bit nicer that did. So we'll have that guy do his thing. He's gonna go unload here. And then we'll finish this field on our own. Can you only get Courseplay with PC? Pretty sure. It's the consoles, they're not complex enough to handle a mod like that. Pretty inferior if you ask me. That's why I kind of stay with the PC. The console version of this game is quite a bit more simplified, as it really should be. Now I'm gonna spend more time turning around on these short rounds than I do actually picking the corner. So whatever total we end up in our grain bin, I'm going to have to take out 1,500 bushel because I put 1,500 bushel inside that jet cone. I was testing out my unload trigger there at the dryer. Honestly, I don't even think you would know we're playing on the edge of the map. Just kind of nice. This area's kind of started to look a little bit better now since we spent some time working on it. Got the distant hills, we got the trees. Got some water lily pad things going on here. I don't own a steering wheel, so I just do mouse and keyboard for everything. I'm not too sure. I think I would like to try a steering wheel, but I'm so used to the keyboard and mouse that I think it would be hard for me to kind of train myself to use the steering wheel. We are like on the southeast part of the map. If you look at the PDA here, you'll see the little blinking in the southeast corner. That's where we're at. We're pretty much playing on the edge, southeastern edge. But it still kind of feels like we're a little bit in the middle of the map here. I had to doing some stagger rows here to finish up, so it makes such tight of a turn. Yes, it is a huge map. Minnesota side, like, really hasn't even been touched. Other than kind of roughing in some fields, and trees, and some roads, and things like that. You know what would be nice is in 19, they kind of focus on some larger beat and potato lifting equipment. I know they're adding cotton and, you know, cotton equipment, which is cool. I've never kind of messed around with that. I may, you know, kind of play around with that when 19 comes out. Man, if I had $1 for everyone that asked about the corn header. It's like people don't even watch the videos. Alright guys, this is officially the last pass in the first field of the Harvest 18 here. Last pass in this 93-acre cornfield. Boom. That is all she wrote. First 93 acres in the field. I'm actually going to take the road back here. Listen to that turbo. That's a nice sounding turbo right there. Put on our beacons and blinkers so people can see us going down the road. Grain cart's stuck in the woods again for no reason. We have some grass growing over our roads here. get a decent size of what this field was like. We have a pretty large field here on the other side of the road. Apparently it's not ready to harvest. Probably by tomorrow it will be. It was a day behind that bean field we planted, and that's ready to go. Looks like it's ready to go, but it's not. Uh-oh, that's not good. Oh, there we go. I thought it didn't recognize our trailer there. So this guy is fired. How am I supposed to get this thing out of here now? Hired workers, what can you do? Drive now. You go home. Alright, so we're officially done with this field. Now might be the time to swap out tractors. We can get this guy going on tillage or something. Maybe. I don't know, do we put this grain cart on the 370 and hook this guy up to do some tillage? I mean, I think that makes sense, right? I think we might end up doing that actually here. Unhook this guy. So now we got some matching green here, not gonna lie, it looks pretty sweet. I'm gonna grab this little guy. See if we can get a picture of our John Deeres here. So we'll probably end the video here. We'll get set up. We'll get another course going, and we'll probably pick off on the stream.